Did Nintendo just accidentally leak the new Switch Pro? Alright guys, so I had a friend spy on the construction for Super Nintendo World in Hollywood. We're also getting a new app on the Switch. Not only that, but is a new eShop coming? Let's get into it. Alright friends, so we all know there was a giant announcement for Super Nintendo World in Hollywood, and then we just never heard about it again for a really long time. And at first I was like, you know, there's other thing going on in the world, like a lot's happening, it's fine. But then recently I was like, it's still been a while. And I tried to Google it and found absolutely no updates since 2021. So what I did is I actually had a friend go to Universal Studios and take spy photos for me of the construction, and I was absolutely shocked by what I found. Now, a lot of people, when we saw the photos in 2021, were hoping for a 2022 release. But these new photos that we have exclusively reveal that there is no way that's happening until at least 2023, if not 2024 or beyond. There is still just straight up scaffolding going on. So I'm hoping that internal work is done, but when it comes to external, there's still basically nothing. And it's not just the facades that need external work. Like if you've seen photos of Super Nintendo World in Japan, there's like actually things that you can like walk past and interact, like there's booths and things like that, and none of that is there. Like absolutely none of that. Like, I cannot wait to actually experience the Mario Kart ride. Like, I watched the ride through of it of Super Nintendo World in Japan, and it looks so freaking cool. And I am a little upset that I'm going to have to wait possibly 2 more years, if not to experience that. And I tried looking on the Universal like website to see, you know, like maybe they still had a date on there or something. It is all erased. Like there is no upcoming attractions, Super Nintendo World, nothing on the Universal Studios Hollywood page. And it's not like they've stopped construction, like they're obviously working on it. But again, for me, these are major red flags that things are definitely going to be delayed until at least 2023, and nobody else is talking about that yet. And it's so weird to me that nobody else is talking about it. So Epic Universe, which is basically a new theme park addition that they're adding to Universal Studios in Florida, is also supposed to have a Super Nintendo World, but that is not set to open until 2025. So that's the update talking about literally what no one else is talking about, a Super Nintendo World, and I think honestly is important, especially for us to set our expectations. So if you are planning on going to Universal Studios for 2022 because you wanted to go to Super Nintendo World, I would hold off on your reservations because I don't think it's coming in time. If you saw my shirt and were like, whoa, that's cool, which obviously. If you want your very own one of these shirts, you can find it in the shelf below or also in the link in my description. Crunchyroll is coming to the Switch, which is extremely exciting, except for the fact that it reminds me that we now have Crunchyroll, YouTube, Hulu, Pokemon TV, but still no Netflix on the Switch, which is so crazy because we had Netflix on the Wii, and for some reason when we moved to the Switch, it's just like a non-starter. I'm like confused. I don't know if Hulu is like blackmailing Nintendo or what the heck is going on. But I will say, and also at the same time not say, if you want Netflix on your Switch, there is not a way to get it. And I am not about to tell you what that is. So the way that you absolutely cannot get Netflix on the Switch is to get the Android app on your Switch. Now, I may or definitely do not have instructions on how to do this as a link in my description, but be sure to definitely not check that out if that's something you're interested in. However, I will say, in all seriousness, do be careful because it's not Nintendo sanctioned, so if anything bad happens, you could break your console. You won't lose your games though, which is great, but you could lose a lot of other capacities on your Switch that Nintendo will not fix for you because you are not supposed to be messing with stuff like that. Now, Instead of talking about what we do not have access to, I'm gonna talk about what we do actually have, which is access to Crunchyroll. But to give his favorite Crunchyroll Rex is my friend, anime enthusiast, and Xbox expert, Ray! Ray, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, thank you so much for that wonderful intro. That was like a top tier elite intro. I just wanted to talk about some of the things that I'm excited about when it comes to Crunchyroll coming to the Switch. Fun thing about Crunchyroll is that unlike a lot of other streaming services, there is a free option. You can watch a lot of episodes on there for free without a subscription. The catch is that they make it really painful sometimes. It's almost like they're trying to encourage you to upgrade to that. And they're very, I would say they're ill-placed, the ads, I would say. So you're in the middle of this big action scene for your favorite anime, and things are going crazy, and all of a sudden it's like, cuts the commercial and talking about car insurance or something. But I will say I think it is worth it upgrading if you are a fan of anime, especially if you're on the Switch, because that's when you're gonna be able to download episodes for offline viewing, which I think could have a lot of utility. If you're on the Switch, you have it docked, you're watching anime, but you have it downloaded, so you take the Switch with you wherever you go, and you can watch wherever you go.
If somebody wants to get into anime because Crunchyroll's an app and maybe they're not into it before, like what's some really good shows that are either really gripping or really funny that you would recommend?
I would say if you're into traditional anime, maybe growing up you were a big fan of Dragon Ball Z, you're really into action, you're really into fights, I would highly recommend getting into Demon Slayer if you haven't already. The animation is gorgeous, and it set the internet on fire with this last few recent episodes with how crazy the fight scenes have gotten, how beautiful the animation was. If you're into more like a slice of life anime, not so much this crazy action and all this fantastical stuff happening, I would recommend Fruits Basket. It is a little bit sad though, so that's a warning on that part.
I've seen Death Note. I like
Death Note is on there as well. It has that really cool like Hot Topic vibe of the time because it was made in the early 2000s, mid 2000s, and I would say that's one of my top favorite anime of all time too. I do like my action anime. I like crazy powers and crazy fights and everything, but Death Note is really awesome if you're into psychological horror elements, light horror elements, I would say. It's not super scary, but the chase between L, who has the power of the Death Note, he can kill anyone he wants by writing their name in the book, and the chase between the police and him trying to evade them if you haven't seen it, definitely recommend. But yeah, overall, super exciting that Crunchyroll is coming to Switch as well. I have Crunchyroll on my bedroom TV and my living room TV, and the apps.
Oh wow, you're just gonna casually brag that you have two TVs.
I have a couple of TVs now. But the thing is that Crunchyroll on the TV, if you are running it through your Roku or any Apple TV, it is just not very good, I would say. It's very laggy. I feel like I have to fight my app on the TV, my Crunchyroll app, every time I just want to scroll through the library. And I feel like on consoles, on Xbox as well, they optimized it really well, and I really think it's exciting that it's coming to Switch as well, and it's smooth from what I've tried. Over on Xbox, I do have to say that you do get it free for 75 days with an Xbox Game Pass Ultimate subscription. I'm just saying.
But you would say, though, that you would recommend watching Crunchyroll on a console versus on a TV.
Yes, absolutely. It's a much smoother experience.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us. Ray is actually doing an Xbox giveaway on his channel, so I don't know, I guess if you feel like cheating on Nintendo, go ahead and check out his channel. It's called Xbox Ready. Thanks so much for coming.
Thanks so much for having me.
Yeah. And now, a moment of silence for the Wii U and 3DS eShop. Thank you. A lot of us already know about this, and I don't know if it's just like me because I just like have abandonment issues, but like I am a little emotional about this. Like I know these have existed for a really long time, but I can't help but like have feelings about it. Now, I would say make sure that any games that you want to have are safe before they shut it down of March of 2023, which you probably already know. I was interested to find though that apparently you can still interact like with DLC and all of that after it is closed as well, which is really great, especially if you've invested in a lot of DLC. One thing that I feel like I am missing out on is the song. I don't know, I I just like, that song is one of the best songs of all time, maybe. I love the Wii eShop song, and just the fact that it is no longer going to be in existence and like we're not getting any sort of substitution on the Switch is criminal and unfair. So Nintendo, you have until March of 2023 to give us a Switch eShop song. It's just cruel at that point, especially because Nintendo doesn't allow their music to be anywhere. Like, it's not like I could just listen to the actual song on Spotify, and they already took down all the videos of it on YouTube. One silver lining that I will say about this, I feel like not a lot of people are talking about yet, the fact that we have a March 2023 timeline for this, which makes me curious if we're getting something else by March 2023, and that's the reason why they don't want to uphold these old eShops anymore. Like, it's going to be too much going back. We already know that there's rumors about the Switch Pro and whatever the console is after the Switch, so could that mean that whatever that next thing is going to be announced by March of 2023? I do feel like that's kind of plausible. Like, it doesn't seem like they would have a reason for being overwhelmed with keeping these old shops open if they didn't also have a potential new eShop that they're thinking about for the future as well, that there's a Switch eShop and whatever's next that's also open. All that being said, be sure to hug your old consoles extra tight tonight. Is there a new eShop coming? Now, I feel like there is some change in the air with Nintendo, and that comes from the fact that they just did a major overhaul for the Nintendo Online website. Not only was there a major overhaul for the Nintendo Online website, but pretty much in the same week, they also announced the closing of the eShop for the 3DS and the Wii U. That seems like, again, a lot of change for them just to leave the eShop the way that it is right now. The other major thing, and this honestly I feel like was a really long time coming, is you can actually do significant things with your Nintendo points. You can actually use your My Nintendo Rewards now to buy physical things in the My Nintendo store. Now, before you go running over to spend those points, I do have to warn you, pretty much everything is already sold out, which is a bummer because I have so many points just like stacked up that are burning a hole in my pocket. However, I like wish there was a countdown that they were giving us to like when new stuff is gonna drop, because right now it just seems kind of like random. You just have to like go and refresh it every day and be like, I hope they drop something today and I hope I get there before anyone else. Now, I'm gonna do my best on my side at least to give us updates for when new things do drop, so that if you're subscribed or following us on socials, you'll be in the first in the know. But I wish we had a countdown. Other people may say that would cause the site to crash because everyone will be rushing to it at the same time, but I don't care, okay? When you're the it girl, there's bound to be problems, but I wanna know when the drop is happening than rather it just be a surprise. And by the time this video comes out, there will be a new Pokemon Direct happening like right now. So make sure that you are subscribed so that you'll see updates when we talk about everything that's revealed in that as well. I'm hoping one of those things will be new Pokemon themed rewards for us in the reward store. Who knows? All right, guys, thanks so much for hanging out. I will see you all very soon. Have an awesome day. Bye.